Hi guys, so welcome to my hip mobility part 1. So today we're just going to be focusing into the fundamentals of your hip mobility. So I'm going to chat a little bit, just for a couple of minutes before we start, as to the different types of hip mobility that we have. So the hip joint is a ball and socket joint. So what that means is that the joint is able to do rotation. So where the femur bone rotates into the hip, it can circle around and rotate. Whereas a hinge joint, for example, is like the door of a hinge, it only moves in one plane. A ball and socket can move in multiple planes, okay? So what that means is that actually we have lots of different muscles that surround it to stabilize. And what that also means is that there's lots of different movements or positioning, postures, different planes of movement that we can take to mobilize and to stretch. So in this particular video, we are going to be focusing primarily into the internal and external rotation of your hip. Okay. So we're going to be working a lot into rotational movements and exploring that range of movement. Okay? So for this, you will need 2 blocks if you have them, and you'll just need a space. So make sure that there's space around you so that you can move your legs. You don't necessarily need a mat, but if you have one, lay it on out. It's always nice to have. Just make sure that the floor is fairly comfortable because we will be doing kneeling postures and things where we're putting pressure into the knees. So we're going to begin onto our hands and knees. Now straight away what I want you to do here is I want you to place your hands onto a set of blocks. Now in this position I like to elevate a little bit through the upper body because it gives a little bit more space into the front of the hip and just gives you a little bit more room to begin to rotate and draw that leg around. If you're quite tight, we bring you a little bit closer, we're just reducing your range of motion even more. So you can lift your hands. I like them, I would say flat. If you're really struggling in any of these movements, you can lift the blocks onto a little bit of a higher weight or higher position, but just make sure that they're stable and they're not going to wobble too much. So plant those hands down. Really feel that connection into the palm. And from here, I just want you to begin to slowly extend your right leg back. Good. Now in this position, all I want you to do is you're just going to gently drop the heel towards the left leg, creating a little external rotation, and then drop it away. So we're just going to explore this movement, and I want you to feel how much you're moving from the knee, because a lot of us actually move a lot from the pelvis or from the knee joint, and we ignore the actual rotation within the hip. So we move the back and we rotate from the spine pretty much as we move the pelvis. So I want you to keep that back really flat. So I want you to keep that back really neutral, draw the lower belly up and in, press down through the toes, and just allow the inside of that foot to rotate, and then back. Good. Just feel this gentle movement. Nice and easily. Wonderful. When you're doing this, draw the belly up and in. Feel this gentle rotation from side to side. Good. And I want you to feel now as well how the glutes are beginning to engage in order to do this. So the lower glute will help to externally rotate, and then the upper glute will internally and neutralize that movement. Good. Really nice. Now from here, I want to press down through the hands. We're going to simply begin to draw that leg up. Now I don't need it to be super high, and I want you to be very aware that we're not collapsing into the lower back to get that leg up. I just want you to think about keeping this lift of the lower belly, keeping this engagement through the arms, and just using the glutes, using the hamstrings to draw it up. And from here, reaching out through the back of that leg, trying to extend through the knee joint, lengthen through the back of that knee. We're going to start to open the toes out to the side. Again, we're not lifting the pelvis. We're focusing on just moving from that leg and then back. We're just going to do that really gently, rotate and then back. So it's not a massive movement here. It's actually quite subtle. Be aware that you're not collapsing into that left leg or shifting the weight too much over to the left. Stay nice and secure into the rest of the body. And then from here, we're going to rotate out, turn the feet towards the right, or that right foot towards the right side. We're going to bend that knee, and we're going to draw it as far in as we can. Good. From here, we're going to extend it back out. And we're going to rotate down. And we're going to do that full movement again. Open, draw it in, extend it out, and then back down. Good. Last time. Open, draw it in. From here, we're going to scoop the knee up and around. Lift it as far into the belly as we can. And then we're going to step it back. Good. And we're going to do the other side. So what you should have felt then was a nice mobilization of this hip and also a really strong stabilization into your left hip. So that stabilization of the left hip means that you can focus purely into the right hip mobility rather than overcompensating or overmoving through the rest of the body. So from here, extend that right leg out. And in the same way, you're just going to begin to play or feel that internal and external rotation of the thigh, of that femur. Good. And again, try and keep the hips as neutral as possible. There may be the smallest movement, and that's fine, but just try and minimize it as much as you can. And then slowly from here, coming back to a neutral alignment with that leg. Again, not shifting out to the side on that right foot, or sorry, that right thigh. We're going to begin to draw that left leg up. Now don't worry if this might be slightly less mobile than the other side. It might be way more, it doesn't matter. We all have imbalances in the body and we just need to try and work to even them as best as we can. So from here we're just going to start to rotate that leg out and then in. Again, be careful you're not lifting the hips up. I'm not lifting or rotating through the spine. I'm primarily moving from that thigh bone. So really see it, the insertion of that thigh bone into the hip socket. See it just rotating around and back down. Good, so you're spiraling. Really nice. A few more times. Wonderful. To rotate those left toes out to the side of the room and then begin to draw that left knee forward and then extend it back out. Good, and we're going to do that again. We're going to draw it forward and then we're going to extend it back out. 2 more times. Draw it forward. Extend back out. Ooh, and last time, draw it forward. Squeeze, hold. Lift it up into center. And then step it back. Amazing. And just release a little bit back. So you should feel quite a nice warming into your glutes there. Into the legs. Now from here, we're going to come back into our hands and knees. I want to keep a connection into the palms. Tap the toes, and we're just going to lift those legs up and in line with the heels of your hand. Now from here, I want to step your feet together. So you're squeezing the insides of the legs. You're squeezing the ankles, the insides of the feet. And from here, you're just going to sit back and then forward. So I want you to feel this little movement as you shift the sit bones back and then forward. Good. Now from here, we're going to open the knees, but we're not going to allow the feet to separate. And we're going to sit back and then back together. Good. Close the legs together. Open them out, sit back. And then shift back forward. Woo, hello legs. Open them out, engage with the glutes, sit back. And back together. Good, 1 more time, sit back. Hold here. Good, now from here, slowly begin to lengthen those legs. Feel the thighs return to their neutral position. And come into your downward facing dog with the feet together this time. Now from here, same thing, we're gonna just move either the heels or the toes. So for the first movement, I want you to internally rotate, keep the toes touching, separate the heels out. Good, and then root them down. Now from here, I want you to shift forward, internally rotate. Good, and join them together. And we're going to do that 1 more time, we're going to shift out. Good, keep the toes touching, and then draw them together. From here, we're going to separate the feet. Come into your hips at distance, strong connection through the arms, stabilizing through the upper body. Now we're going to move the opposite. We're going to draw the heels together. And then we're going to separate them out. Good. And we're going to draw the heels together. And then we're going to separate them out. So at the same time, you should really feel those outer thighs working. And this movement of the legs. Last time, draw the heels together. And separate them out. Fantastic. From here, I want you to slowly begin to walk the feet up towards the hands. And just take a gentle bend of the knees. Now in this position, I want to very slowly elevate your hands to the highest height on your bricks. And we're going to, from here, begin to squeeze your right heel in towards your butt. Now we're going to gently begin to open that right leg out. From here, I want you to lift as high as you can, really actively lifting like a dog that's cocking its leg to go to the toilet. And then we're going to slowly release it down. Make sure the neck is nice and long. We're going to lift it up. engaging it out and down. So what I don't want to see is a collapse here. Woo, I can't even do it without falling over. So I don't want you to collapse into that leg. And I also don't want you to bend the arms really far forward. We're keeping nice and long through the upper body. If this is easy and you're like, oh, I can do that, I want you to try and do it with the legs straight and down. And you're really going to feel this engagement into the outer thigh. Good, one more time. Fantastic. Now we're going to lift it up. Now from here, whether the leg is bent or straight, I want you to rotate open through that hip and then lower it back to 90 or to a neutral. We're going to try and lift the knee up towards the sky, opening and then releasing it down. So we're just allowing this gentle movement into the hip, but we're staying really active. And what I want you to do is in this position not allow the lower back to collapse. So we're not just collapsing into the spine to get that leg as high as we can. Keep lifting into the lower belly. Keep drawing up and away. And I want you to feel it come from your glutes. So you should feel the outer of that left outer glute burning to support and stabilize. And you should really feel the lower part of your right glute here beginning to really engage. One more time, open it out and then down. And last time, open it out and then release. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. We're going to do the other side. So I'm going to do this facing you now so you can see it a little bit better from the side. And in the same way, we're going to start to bend that that left leg, plant down through the right foot, and we're just going to lift and lower. Ooh. So this left glute is already tired from supporting that last side. So be gentle with it. If you need a break, take a break. If you need to release that leg out, give it a good movement or a little bit of a tap into the glute muscles. You can do that as well. Just be nice to yourself. Good, one more time. Again, if you'd like, you can begin to extend it with a straight leg. So you can lift up and down. Yes. One more, lifting up and then down. Fantastic. Now from here, we're going to start to open that knee up towards the sky. So in the same way, we're going to open that leg out. Now from here, I want to begin to lift and almost send your foot towards the inside of your left leg and then release it down. Good, so lift it up and out and then down. One more time, lift it up. Rotate, try and open that leg as far as you can. Woo, and then release it down. Take a little release of the glutes. Good. From here, we're going to come into a seated position. So from here, we're going to now drop down and into a seated position. So I want you just to allow yourself to release forward with the legs out in front. And in the same way, your glutes should really be engaged. We're going to place the hands into the blocks, just slightly separate. Flex through the feet. And I just want you to practice opening and again closing. Good. We're going to open and close, that lovely movement. Now, I want you to draw the right leg up as far as you can. Place it onto the floor. And I want you to lower that leg out to the side. So this is a nice external rotation of that right leg. Now from here, all I want you to do is place a block or something underneath that knee. And from this position, you're going to try and press into that block as much as you can. You're pressing it down. So you're really trying to push that block into the floor. And I want you to feel as you do this, a real engagement of that outer thigh. Push it down really strongly. For about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. We're going to remove that block. Now from here, placing the hands either in front or to the side, I don't mind. We're going to try and lift that foot off the ground. Now try not to shift back too much. I want you to try and imagine that you're trying to lift that foot as close into the belly, trying to touch the foot to the belly. We're going to hold here for 10, 9, keep lifting, 8, 7, dropping the knee out, lifting the foot up, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, oh God, 1. Whew. And release it down. Give that leg a little bit of a shake. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to lift that left leg in, We're going to place the foot down and we're going to open it out to the side. So I like to get people, even in movements like that, to do it themselves because it really gets the leg nice and active. Oh, if the leg is fully connecting into the floor, you can just use it to press down into. You don't need to have that block. But if you need it, place a block underneath that knee. And from here, we're just going to press that leg down. So we're really starting at around 25, back quarter of your full strength. And then we're going to move it to 50. And now we're going to move it to 100, and I want you to press that leg down as much as you can. Keep that breath flowing, keep that breath moving. Really nice. For the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. From here, we're going to shift back. Take that hook away, and we're going to start to lift that foot in towards your belly. And this might be worse, this might be better, it doesn't matter. But we're really thinking about lifting that leg up without using the hands. So try and touch that foot to that belly. We're going to hold here for 10, for 9, for 8, good, for 7, pull the lower belly up, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and release. Whew. Very, very good. From here, we're going to do a tiny bit of internal rotation to finish. So I want you now to take your front leg into a 90-degree angle. We're going to take the left leg into a little bit of a Z sit. So in this position, you'll be in this Z shape with the legs, okay? So knee, ankle, and hip are all at 90 degrees with both legs. Now from here, we're going to do the same thing with that back leg. I want you to get your bricks next to you. And I want you just to push the inside of that right thigh down. So you're really forcing it down. Really resisting. Breathing in through the nose. And out. Really good. Keep breathing here. And out. We're going to hold full power, full strength now for 10, 9, good, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, press it down, for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Good. From here, we're going to keep the hands in contact. I want you to try without shifting the weight too much. We're going to try and lift that leg up. And we're going to hold it here for 10, for 9, lift the torso, try and engage through the side body. Good. For 5, for 4, you can even take the hands off if it's easier. For 3, for 2, for 1. Now keep that leg lifted. We're going to try and draw it forward, 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 forward. And we're going to cross it over that front leg. And we're just going to gently release forward and into a little cross-legged position. Ease it on out here. And then we're going to unthread that left leg now. Keep that right leg at 90. We're going to place it back and behind. And we're going to do the same thing, okay? So we're going to move into this internal engagement of the hip. So we're going to press the inner thigh down. Press down through the blocks, and we're going to start to really engage into the inner thigh as we begin to push that left inner thigh into the ground for 10. Good. Moving gradually now to your full strength. For 9, 8, 7. You're pressing that ground away. 6, 5, 4, try not to twist too much into the torso. 3, 2, fantastic. 1, connect to the palms. Really now begin to lift that left leg up. Try not to shift too far across. Use this core, use this length of that right side. Lift up using the hip for 10, 9, good, 8. If you can balance, try and balance. If not, use those blocks. 7, 6, my counting's terrible. 5, 4, keep breathing, lifting up. 3, 2, release it. Oh no, sorry, lift it up, stay lifted. And from here, we're going to draw it forward, 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 forward. Cross it over that left leg, and then just take a gentle release. Forward. Good. Really nice. And from here, we're just going to draw it up. Now, gently, in this position, I want you to touch or open those legs out. We're just going to ease into the joints now a little bit. I want you to drop the legs down and then slowly rotate back and around. Now, what I want you to be aware of is that you're not just releasing back like this and just faffing around and moving the legs. Even if the hands are on the floor, I really want you to almost imagine that you're trying to open that thigh as far as you can while the leg nearest the ground is still rooting down. So you're trying to make this distance between the thighs as big as possible before you resist and allow it to internally rotate. So you're really actively drawing, resisting, opening, 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 and then releasing it down. Good, we're going to do this twice more. Lifting up, and across. Good. And one more time, lifting up. Feeling that lovely movement through the hips. Fantastic. From here, draw the knees in, squeeze them together, and just take it gentle, release forward. Maybe even allowing the legs to straighten, and just forward folding over the thighs. Before slowly coming up to a seated position. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed. So that's just the fundamentals of some nice rotational hip work. It's a really great warm-up. If you've got very open or strong hips already, you can just use it as a kind of mobilization sequence. If you're still working quite a lot into your hip mobility, this will be a great place to start. Keep an eye out for my part 2. I'm going to be gradually making the exercises more and more advanced, working towards some more advanced postures. So keep an eye out, and I